Welcome to the Versa Business Tips Podcast. I'm your host, founder, and CEO of Versa Business Systems, Shaheen Masloum. We are with an awesome guest today, Cody Collins. He's the owner of Shore Outdoor Living, built some ridiculously cool pools, has a really awesome job. Great business, been in business for a while. And man, I'm glad that you could join, and I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, for those out there that don't know you, we obviously go way back to high school,
True.
and then lots changed since there. So, tell people about, who you are and what you do.
Cody, owner of Shore Outdoor Living. We've been blessed to be where we're at today. I started out with my family. My family was in the irrigation service and install side of the business. Shoot, back in high school, it was like my weekend job. And as I got through
Right.
college, I learned the service side of stuff with my grandfather. And then I got with my uncle and we learned, my uncle did septics, pools, hardscaping, irrigation installs, mostly in the Salisbury, a little bit down to the beach, way before the beach became what it is now.
Wow. I had no idea your family had been in
Yeah.
that industry
Yep.
for a while. Huh.
So that's why I grew up in the industry. And then, man, irrigation's great. We still do a little bit of it. We do a lot of most of our stuff's commercial. We do irrigation, but man,
Right.
I welded for 7 years as a foreman over at a company in Laurel. Really instilled a lot of fabrication stuff, and really the way they
Right.
ran their business was very, very structured. Probably one of the top companies in the area for the welding side and the poultry plants. And if you take a piece of metal and a piece of brick, man, you can cut it, but you can't fill it. You know what I mean? You got to cut it perfect.
Right.
The manufacturing and that side played into why I wanted to get into pavers. And then I taught
Right.
myself hardscaping, went and got certified. And dude, hardscaping, you get to really, take your designs of what you see in your head and give somebody an outdoor
Yeah.
living area that is, when the job's done, man, you're just like, wow, this was cool. Yeah.
Right. Oh, dude, that's got to be the coolest thing, man. Like I was watching a video the other day, and Mark had I guess you guys have like a software that can create and show them how it's gonna look in their actual backyard. And man, dude, it's like something out of a movie, dude. Like, how did you get from working for these other companies, working for your family, and then all of a sudden building this company? Like, where did the vision for all that come from to be able to do the size of jobs that you're doing now and have all these employees? I mean, tell me about that journey of how you went from employee to employer and really crushing it down there on the Eastern Shore.
Um, it gives me cold chills because the hardest thing I ever had to do was hire the first person. You're like, how am I
Yeah.
supposed to pay this person? And
Right.
then, well, I guess even if you right before that, taking the leap of leaving a job,
Right.
I
Yeah.
can still remember, I totaled it up, probably 20 weekends worth of work lined up. And I asked my boss, I was working for a site company at the time, Dana Ellion, wonderful guy, really close with his sons. I said, Pop, I think I'm going to make the jump. I'm going to try. I was like, hey, man, if it doesn't work out, you think I can have my job back? He said, oh, man, you'll have to figure that out if you don't make it. He's like, but you'll never know what you don't try. And I'm like, that's cool, man. Yeah.
Right.
So I still remember I had a softball game that night. And then I was like, wow, tomorrow's like the day, like of the
Yeah.
journey of that you hope you can build. Um, so
Yeah.
that's where it started. I think I was with me and I had a helper probably maybe 3 months in. I got a helper.
Right.
She was me.
So you started out, it was just
It was
you?
just me. Remember I was doing like some grading. I was doing a little bit of drainage. So
Okay.
my old boss that I used to work for at the welding
Yeah.
company, he had just built a big home. I went out there, did all his grading, I did all his irrigation, I did all the uh drainage, irrigation, grading, and I think we did some seeding and stuff out there and spreading topsoil and some odd men's things.
Okay.
But I mean, it was about 3 months worth of work. And
Wow.
I just saved money, man, saved money. And I had another job that was a paver job and it happened to be in the development. And before you know it, it's 10 jobs in that development. But
Right.
you're talking back when, dude, I mean, we were laying for half of what I'm charging now. I mean, when you don't have overhead, you work for
Right.
yourself. You're not paying
Yeah.
anything out because you're physically working.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I don't know, man. Look, I've always sunk a lot of money back into the company, and I believe that's
Right.
100% the reason where I'm at.
Oh yeah, 100%. You have to like it's funny. So with my company, and I told my fiance this. I wanted to ask her to marry me a year and a half before I
Yeah,
did, but I knew once we got married, I would no longer be able to dump 100% of my money into the
right.
company, right? I'd have to put some in for
Mhm.
us and for our lives and and things like that. So I was like, man, let me hold off a little bit. Like right now, I want to be 100% into the company, dude. That's the same thing that I did, man. Like I haven't taken a penny for myself, like other than like buying a car or like a couple of vacations, which I end up working on anyway. You know what I mean? Like I haven't really bought myself anything. It's all been business related, right? Like I'll turn a trip into a business trip. You know what I mean? Like
Get the most you
it's just
can.
the way you got to do it. Yeah, man, you got to do it that way. The first 5 to 10 years, and I truly believe the businesses that don't make it is because after they see some success, they start pulling money out. They start pulling money out. They start blowing it instead of putting it back into the company to really grow something great. Because if you're not growing, you're dying, you're stagnant, you don't make it,
Correct. Now, to
right?
touch
So,
on that though, you once you feel that little bit of money, look, let's throw a little bit of real numbers into it. Back then,
uh,
2015, I think I might have been making maybe $500-600 a week, right? You can
right,
make that in a day, right? So you're like, oh shit, man, I'm gonna go do some stuff over here, and you put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, man, why did I do that? And now I don't have the money for this, but I
yeah,
got fortunate and bailed myself out of some situations. But dude, right away
oh
it
yeah.
taught me, dude, you still can't live like
100%.
that.
I think everybody has to. Yeah, I think everybody has to learn that lesson the hard way. Because we could tell people all day long, like, "Hey, do this, do this, do this," but dude, I did the same
Mhm.
thing. Like in 2020 during COVID, I made over $1 million in 2 months. And what did I do? I bought myself a $200,000 car and a $100,000 car cash for my birthday because I
Yeah,
could. And it was stupid. I mean, I ended up getting rid of them, after a few months, and like whatever. But it was dumb. Like I lost 40 grand that I could have put into the business, and a year later, I needed. You know what I
I can
mean? And
relate.
so, yeah, man.
We went on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
spending
dude.
spree. We bought this and that, and don't worry, we got these jobs coming in, and blah, blah, blah. And then
Right.
I mean, I
You
had a
buy you buy the brand new
I
truck
did.
instead of the
Yeah,
used one.
bought a
Yep.
brand new $80,000 truck, put $20,000
Yeah.
worth of lift and rims on it. And I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
this guy just kept wanting to buy it from me. And I was like, until a point in life where what's that thing doing for me? I said, take it. I said,
Right.
take it. I don't even
Yeah.
want it. And I bought a dump truck for our company now. And that was
Yeah.
probably like 2 months ago. But just the
Right.
maturity you get through it, but Shai, you
Oh
got to
yeah.
make it to that maturity level, and
Yeah.
some of us just spend a little too fast before we make it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's a little bit of luck involved there, just a little bit. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's luck. I think because I mean I'm sure you can relate, and most business owners can. You have you've put yourself in some situations with the business where you're not sure how you're going to make it the next week,
100%,
right?
yes.
I mean, I know it's happened multiple times over the last 8 years. It has for me. I'm sure it has for you and every other business owner out there. But what we did is we didn't give
Uh-uh.
up. We figured it out. No matter what, we figured it out. We might have been stressed as hell, like, man, I don't know how I'm going to cover payroll next week, but we always figured it out. And I think that's the big difference between those that make it and those that don't. Because I honestly believe you are one more try away from succeeding versus failing, right? The people that fail, if they would have just tried one more time or just a little bit harder, they would have got through and they would have succeeded. I honestly believe that.
What if you don't at least, I know they're calculated risks, right? If you don't take those calculated risks, what do you think growth is? That is just dropped in your lap? I mean, don't get it wrong. Sometimes certain jobs come and it's like,
right. So sometimes certain things come, you're like, oh my God, thank you.
It allows you to do that. Or you go out there and you make it happen, advertising, the way you represent your company, and you get it yourself. But I mean, there's times where you know, either you give up or you figure it out, like you said. And most of us that are successful figure it out.
Yeah, dude, 100%, man. And I was thinking about it the other day. So like recently, we've had man, I'll just say it, man, $1 billion deal that we've been working on, and it's now transformed into 12 billion. And I was thinking, I'm like, why did this like, man, I am so lucky. Like, this is a dream come true for really anybody in our industry, right? And one of my employees reminded me, they're like, this didn't just happen, right? Like, if we didn't have the reputation that we had, if we didn't have so many clients, if we weren't putting out all this content, if we weren't having all these people say all these great things about us, and we hadn't put in all that work and gone through those hard times and, you know, do things the way that we do them, that opportunity would have never came along. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a little bit of luck, but like, I feel like we create our own luck, period, right? Like, we were talking before we started the episode about employees, right? And you know, we were also talking about recovery, right? Like, my best employee is a recovered addict, and I took a risk on her when I first hired her. She was only 2 or 3 months sober. She's now 5 or 6 years sober, right? But had I not done that, I know for a fact my company would not still be here. You know, so people, risks, never giving up. I mean, all of those things go hand in hand together, man. So Cody, you, over the last 8 years, you went from a one-man company doing small jobs, back-to-back jobs, to now you got multiple jobs running at the same time. You're doing some huge baller stuff, you know, that you see on TV. Yeah. How many employees you guys got now?
We're up to 14 now.
Okay. Yeah. And so how has, you know, like, so you hired your first helper. How did you go for, like, how do you figure out the right hires? Like, what are some of the things that you do to you know, hope that you got the right person?
Well, if you take, when you have one guy and you just have somebody's or a couple people that'll just show up to work every day and are, if one of them's competent enough to understand laying things out, elevations, understanding a laser, even running a piece of equipment, you're lucky, right? And because you got to have some laborers, and I say that with most respect to the world. Some of my best guys are laborers, and I'm beyond thankful for them. I've retained a bunch of them for one of my employees did just leave. He bettered himself. I think he's trying to work for himself. He was my first guy that really was with me, that took it to the next level. And I always told him, I said, man, if you're ever going to better yourself, I support you. You know,
100%, dude. I'm the same way. I think there's nothing better than your employee leaving you to start their own company, man. Like, so, you know, like, it sucks. Yeah, it's kind of a little blow, but like, it's awesome, man. Like, them working with you allowed them to gain so much knowledge, so much confidence from you as a business owner, that now they can go on and grow their thing and do their thing. Now, as long as they're not coming and taking clients, like, dude, I'm all for it, man. I love that. I think it's great.
So as we got more along, like, I had the same crew for almost 5 years, man. To have that happen is
Wow.
insane in our world. Our world's a big
Yeah.
time.
Oh.
I
Oh
believe
yeah.
I pay very good for our industry. Some of my buddies, I'm very close with several business owners that do several $1 million a year.
Right.
And they're like, "You're crazy for what you pay," and I'm just like, "Look, man, I just believe that we should all." There's a guy, I won't say who because whatever, but they said hire the best and pay him the best. Um,
100%.
that's kind of the motto I've lived. I understand there's profit margins, but look, man, you can build them profit margins.
You can
I
still
built my own Excel
exactly.
spreadsheet for all of everything. It factors in all my expenses, my overhead, and my employees. And are we the cheapest? Not even close. Are we in the middle? Probably not.
Right.
We're towards the high end, but we're trusted. We have an office. We have nice
Right.
vehicles. We have every piece of equipment you could ever want to do the job. And we present ourselves and everybody has uniforms and we show up
Right.
like a
In a
real
professional
business. Yeah.
manner.
So the
Yeah.
hiring
Yeah.
thing is I was fortunate to have a guy named Mark Frostrom. You're talking about 30 years of experience, a guy that
Oh,
can
yeah. He's a
custom
monster,
carve with the
man.
best of them around here.
Oh
And
yeah.
uh, you're talking about somebody I don't have to babysit, right?
Yeah.
And then I just recently got Nick Lito, who is, I mean, 17 years in the industry, been doing it since he was 17.
Wow.
I mean, attention to detail, man. It's so good.
Right.
And then Joey Hunt's my construction manager. He's comes from a big custom home building world. He takes care of our outdoor pavilions, pergolas, custom kitchens,
Right.
all that stuff. And
So you've got an all-star
yeah,
team over there, man. Like how other than paying them good, because I'm the same way, man. Like so when I first started the business, for the first 3 months, I had a kind of a partner as more of an investor. And he's like, dude, you're crazy. You shouldn't give them the opportunity to make 500K in a year. I'm like, why
right,
not? If I'm going to make $1 million off of their work, why should they not be able to make
right,
500K? He's like, dude, they're only working 40 hours a week. You give them an opportunity to make 100 grand and they'll be happy. I'm like, yeah, but if I'm making a couple million, like, why are they only going to make 100,000? You know what I mean? So like, I'm the same way. I want to pay top dollar because I want people that are going to grind, that are happy to be at work. But other than the pay, how are you attracting that top tier talent to your company versus all the other contractors out there? I mean, the Eastern Shore is only so big, and there's a lot of other places they can go work. Why do they come to you other than the pay? Because they could probably negotiate someone else to pay the same. What else is it about you that you're able to
so
attract that talent?
I'm a straight shooter, so I'm gonna be honest. I didn't attract either of them, okay, or any of the
Okay.
guys. Um, I think it's about our visions. So Mark and I and Nick and Joey are just passionate about this industry. So when Mark, for example, got let go from his company, don't I'm not real for whatever reasons. Uh,
Yeah.
I, I had
All
literally
that.
just told somebody, it was one of my vendors, that if anybody of his caliber ever became available, I would love to speak with him. And then boom, look what happens. It falls into my lap,
Wow.
you know? And I
Yeah.
think when he came here and saw the organization and the passion that I had. Dude, that 3D
Right.
design, dude, is insane. And he just saw that he could take his visions and create them through our company, and
Right.
along with the pay, man. I mean,
Right.
I told him when he came here that I would do without to have somebody of his caliber because he could take us to the next level. And dude, I mean,
Right.
it's been phenomenal. And same thing with
Yeah.
Nick. Like Nick, for whatever reasons, was uh just got let go of somebody and I went after him right away and we spoke and it was like a no-brainer. I mean, he was like, dude, I mean, I see you guys, I know what you bring, and here we are. He's with me too.
And so it's funny. So you said first, before you got into that you didn't attract them. But everything you just said says the complete opposite. You absolutely attracted them, right? It was your passion. It sounds like your vision and your passion. You attracted the people with the same vision and same passion. I'm the same way, dude. Like every single one of my employees, we all have the same vision, the same passion for helping people, dude, that's what it's all about. So it's the passion, the vision, like-minded people, and making sure that they're going to be taken care of
Right. I
financially,
think I
right?
captured them once they came in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm with
Oh
you.
yeah.
You like, you don't, I'm trying not to
Yeah.
be on
They
the
had to get
conceited
there.
side of anything, you know?
Hey man, be proud of what you built,
Man,
man. It's at the end of the day, dude, it's a very tough industry to excel in, as you
it
know.
is. It is. It's
You
very,
know.
I mean, anybody can get a dump truck, a dump trailer and a truck,
Yeah.
bro. And I mean, work for
Oh yeah.
yourself and be half the price I am. But are you going to
Yeah.
show up when things go bad? Do you get up at
Yeah.
7, 6 in the morning and get the job? There's
Right.
the other
Are
side,
you
man. When you start on your own,
right?
it ain't sleep till 10, you know? It's how
Uh,
bad you want it. I mean, like, what you see the books
yeah.
that are like, most people that are successful get up at 5 or before that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know that that's
Yeah.
fully true because of where the technology in the world is right now. You know what I mean? So, but to
Right.
each his own. I mean, in this world of
Yeah.
labor, you get up and you get after it, you know, and you got to
Yeah.
be involved with your company. It's not run it from the office. It's go see them and shake
Exactly.
their hand and tell them thank you. And hey, you guys good? Do
Yeah.
you need anything? And be a part of their world too.
Yeah, being hands on, man. Like I think a lot of business owners also try to step back from the business one way too
Way too
early.
early.
Way too early. A couple years in, and they're trying to step back. Oh, I'm trying to, kick back a bit. Like, come on, man. Like you ain't even got anywhere yet. You know what I mean? And two, it's dude, your employees, they have to follow
Right.
you. They are following you into battle hand in hand. Like they got to know that you got their back, that you know what you're doing, that like you can't be one of those, like in this day and age, you can't be a business owner that's just telling people what to do. You got to show them what to do. You got to get in the ring with them. You got to go to battle each and every day so they respect you, right? Like otherwise, it's just a job. You're going to have high turnover, and you're constantly going to have to keep chasing down those people. You built an all-star team because they like you, they trust you. You guys are building something together, and it sounds like they feel a part of it.
Right.
They feel a part of something. They are a part of something. And I think that goes a long way into growing a successful business, man. It sounds like you're doing a
Gosh,
great job
man,
of
you
it.
got to you got to trust it. I tell my guys, my leaders, like you talk to them, you gain their respect, and then you'll have respect. You can't just force
Right.
respect on anybody, and
A
then teach
hundred
them the
percent.
best you can, man, and let them know if they fail, it's okay because failure becomes a learning lesson, right? Just don't fail
Oh
real
yeah.
bad. You know when you're going to do something bad. Your mind's like, dude, stop for real. Like, don't do
Right.
this. You should ask a question or something. But if you fail, man,
Yeah.
we'll fix it. We'll go back. And guess
Yeah.
what? You'll be like, man, I'm not doing that again because I messed this up. And I
Right.
tell everybody it's okay to fail. Just please don't fail where
Right.
you're going to either hurt yourself or hurt somebody else.
Right. Or keep making the same mistakes. I tell my guys all the time, like, look, if you're not sure about something, come to me. Come to me. If I don't have the answer, I'm going to go make sure I get you the answer. But one thing that you can never do is fix trust once it's broken. So, like, it's the same with, with like construction. You can fix something you break, but trust and respect to the customer, you can't
No,
fix
you,
that,
you
right?
just, there's no
You
way
can't.
around it.
You can't, and especially being from a small town like we are, like your reputation is
Yes.
everything, right? Once your reputation is shot, you're done. You're done. That's it. I think that also plays a big part into the reason why your company's been so successful, and so is mine. Is we understand that, like, we ain't got a choice. We got to keep our reputation intact if we want to make
Right.
it.
You understand
Because
that.
all it takes is one bad
Right.
customer, and the whole of the Eastern Shore knows
But what
about it.
what makes a bad customer? Okay, is a bad customer somebody that doesn't pay you when the job done, or are you talking about a customer that you guys don't see eye to eye? Okay, so we're human beings. We don't see eye to
Yep.
eye. There's a reason we do this
Yep.
and they do what they do. So no matter what
Yep.
the disagreement or not seeing the eye to eye is, you just got to take a deep breath. and get through it,
Yeah.
get the client what they want. It might not be the most pleasant thing. And some of my guys have struggled with that, but I just have to come in and be like, look, man, I'll take it. It's okay. I understand. Maybe we're
Right.
wrong. Maybe they're not understanding. And if we're wrong, we're going to do whatever it takes to make it right. But at the end of the day, man, these people spend a lot of money, and you have to understand that they just want the stuff to be right. Not that we don't
Right.
do it right, but they're unsure of what we're doing because they don't know what we're doing. So they question,
Exactly.
it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. Like at the end of the day, you guys are the experts. If we all knew how to do what you guys do, we wouldn't need
Right.
coaches like you. You know what I mean? Um, so okay, so we've covered hiring, we've covered building the business and going from 1 to 14 and having that all-star team. So now you as an owner, so from my understanding, you've gone through you've been sober what, 9 years?
9 years the 15th of next month. Yeah. 16th of next.
So you've been in business for 8, been sober for 9.
I
How
started
did
the
you
company out of the recovery house.
That's awesome. So how did you like what was kind of the turning point where you're like, all right, enough's enough, time to get serious, sobered up and build
The
this thing?
weirdest reason. I literally got a
Yeah.
letter. I had taken some items that weren't mine from a job that I worked
Uh,
at to go and pawn them
okay.
so I could get my fix. I mean,
Right.
it's pretty common
Yep.
in that world that I was involved
Right.
in. And
Yep.
I got a letter saying, hey, you've got 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. Here's your must appear. You're facing 5 years. And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I don't want to withdraw in jail. It's the worst thing
right.
ever. Seriously. So
Uh,
I went to rehab, kicking and screaming. I just laid there. I did not want to get clean. I was just going to get through um, the court case and do what I had to do. And I
right.
was like going back to what I was doing. And Shaheen, I
Right.
don't know, man. Something in there just clicked, and I was like, you know what, man. You need to try to make the best of this that you can. And I don't know what hit me, uh,
Right.
but it's here we are. It
Yeah.
worked.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome, bro. That's I mean, I didn't understand a whole lot about being an addict and sobriety and all that until I hired my number one
Right.
employee, and she like never could ever possibly do it. It
It
takes over your
does.
body,
It's
your
not
mind,
you.
your
It's
spirit.
not
I
you at
mean,
all.
it's wild. It's wild. Yeah, it's like a completely different person. Um, so now with owning a business, right? So there's times that are stressful, man. Like what are some of the things that you do to relieve that stress and to when you're having a bad day, like a lot of people they go have a couple beers and
Right.
they go get drunk or they go get high or whatever. It's very common with entrepreneurs. What are some healthy ways that you get through those tough days and those tough times?
I guess you're like the right answer would be my kids. But we had
Yeah,
times before kids, right?
yeah,
I play and travel the country. Like when we saw each other that day in the airport,
yeah,
randomly
yeah.
that, I
Right.
travel. I am fortunate enough to be able
So
I'm
you're
still
still traveling.
traveling, playing at the highest level of slow pitch softball, which might be funny to some people, but it's the same thing as cornhole or
That's
whatever you get
awesome,
into.
dude.
It's my hobby, right? It's what I like
Right.
to do.
Yeah. I know so many people that just do it locally in their town. You're
Yeah,
traveling the
traveling the
country
country.
doing it. That's
Four
pretty that's
weekends in
pretty
a
cool.
row. I'm going to Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, Louisiana. So starting this weekend. But dude, I mean, that's my release. So
Yeah.
on the other side, man, I guess I just learned to deal with stuff on my own. I really don't talk to anybody about it, which is probably not a good thing and not something I would suggest to people. But man, I'll come and get on this computer, man, and just start designing stuff, or I'll go take some BP into a net. Like, learn
Right.
to let things go, like, because at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
when you can't, I would love to smoke a blunt all day long. I just can't. I'm scared of where that'll take me. What I love 100%.
Right.
But you learn that you only can do the best you can do, right? So you're going to run into problems. You're going to run into finding solutions for them. I just let that stuff go. Does some stuff eat at me? It does. And then you try to find the brighter side of things. But at the end of the day, those problems don't take your life, your wife, your kids, or anything that you're doing. So as long as you don't put yourself in a bad situation, it's just maturity, man. When you learn to deal with stuff without any kind of meditation or whatever you want to call getting high or drunk or whatever, that's maturing yourself on a different level.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I love that, man. That's a great point, man. I think people try to look for the outlets so quick rather than just handling
It's
the
run
problem.
the problem,
Right? Like,
let yourself get high or drunk so you don't think about it. But guess what?
the
You get
problem's still
sober and now
there.
it's even more time for where you got to screw it up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. The problem it don't make the
right.
problem go anywhere. If you just focus on the problem, handle the solution, and keep it moving. Yeah, dude, I'm the same way, man. If I have a problem, I tackle it right then and there. I'm not doing nothing until I've handled that
Especially
problem.
like if you're
Period.
in a disagreement, right? I'm gonna call you and be
Right.
like, "Look, Brad, at the end of the day, we're both men. Let's come to a common understanding." Same way with a problem. I'm gonna call a homeowner, I'm gonna call an employee.
Yep.
Guys, what's the
Yep.
issue? Let's get it taken care of now. I can't do
Right.
that. Just
Let's
push it
handle it
off and
now.
not I can't. I just can't. I
No,
won't sleep.
yeah, I can't do that because that's when
Yeah.
it eats at you, and you're constantly thinking about it. And yeah,
And that
I
and
cannot
that's
do that.
care. That's care. When you care about things like
100%.
that, that's because you would rather fix those things right now and get them over with.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's action. It's action. Every billionaire says take action and take it fast. Period. With everything that you do, every decision that you make, every action that you take, everything that you do it fast and swiftly, right away. Don't wait. Don't push it off. There's nothing worse than pushing things off. If it has to be done, do it now. Do it
Don't
today.
be a
Don't wait.
firefighter. Don't just put fires out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Plan ahead and
right.
and do
Yep.
something to make sure that those things don't happen again.
That
Right.
doesn't happen again. Yep. Yep. 100%, man. Well, dude, I'm excited to see where this takes you over
Yeah, I
the next few
appreciate
years,
it,
man.
dude. Thanks for having me. And good luck to
Absolutely, brother.
everybody out there, man. It ain't nothing but hard work and put yourself where you want to be.
Absolutely, man. So if people want to reach out to you on the Eastern Shore, get some work done, what's your
Shore
website?
Outdoor Living DMV, like Delmarva.com. Yeah, or hit us up
DMV.com.
on
Great. I'll put it
Facebook.
in the description.
And all
Yep.
of our we have our website. You can get a contact there. There's several different numbers you can reach us at. You can leave us a form, text message, email, or you can call the office.
Awesome, man. You make
Yeah.
it easy for your customers to reach you. That's super important. Super important. Awesome, brother. Well, you have yourself a good night,
All
and
right,
we'll
bro.
chop it up soon.
Yeah, man.